Good morning, everyone, and welcome. On behalf of Restlawn Memorial Gardens and FIVERR Home, I'd like to welcome you to Oregon Remembers. Thank you for joining us this morning to honor our beloved heroes. If you could please stand, we're going to have a presentation of the colors by Trooper Scouts, and then we'll stay standing for the national anthem, and then later on we'll stand up again for the honors. And we have Jonathan going to play To the Colors. Thank you. My name is JC Aubrey. I'm the original vice president for our company that owns Restlawn Memorial Gardens and FIVERR Home. And for this Memorial Day ceremony, Oregon Remembers, we gather to honor those who have given their life to keep our country, the United States of America, a land of freedom and liberty. We pay tribute to the men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, to those who have given their lives as a sacrifice, that we, as citizens of the United States, can live in freedom, enjoying individual liberty, and that countless others throughout the world can enjoy similar freedom.
I was asked to talk a little bit about the impact of Memorial Day on the legislature and the legislative representative. Every other year, the legislature is actually in session on Memorial Day and they stay in the building. So I guess that's step one after 20 years in the legislature. But I think the beginning about what this day means is I was born the son of a dairy farmer in Tillamook. And my father, in World War II, he had 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Silver Stars, and he was dead by the time I learned about it. Because he didn't talk about it. What he did say, because we put up flags every Memorial Day when I was a kid, down in Tillamook, he said, don't ever ask somebody to do something you won't do. For you younger people, is don't pitch a pitch unless you're willing to do something. So, but I learned from my father growing up that don't do anything that you think is wrong. Always do what's right.
Americans joined the Allies to defeat militarism and nationalist expansion.
The Cold War. Americans led Western efforts to contain communism during the Korean War and nuclear arms race. Korean War was from 1950 to 1953, and there were 36,576 fallen. Each one of these names that I read represent 9,144 service members who lost their lives. John Zeck, Gresham. J.D. Sharp, Forest Grove. William Russell Moore, Canyonville. James O'Brien, Klamath Falls.
Conflict and commitment. Americans fought a protracted and divisive war against communist expansion in Southeast Asia. The Vietnam War was from 1964 to 1975, 58,200 fallen. Each one of the 6 names represent 9,700 service members who lost their lives. Roy Jerry Curry, Gresham. Daniel Lester Hart, Hillsborough. Wesley Jean Bauman, Dallas. Harold Eugene Matson, Independence. Jerry Arthur Haar, Roseburg. J. Dean Johnson, Medford. I'd also like to acknowledge a very special person who's in attendance today. He took some of the pictures that's on display in our chapel that he took of Vietnam. And we're gonna do a flag presentation and honor him today. His name is Mike Preskey, and he's sitting right in the front row up here. That was not said to the Vietnam heroes that came home is no one ever told them welcome home. So Mike, in honor of everybody here, we want to tell you welcome home. Freedom from terror. Americans fought to defend their interests against threats at home as well as abroad. The Persian Gulf War won. It's 1991, 383 fallen. Persian Gulf War II, Iraq and Afghanistan, 2003 to 2021, 7,085 fallen. Each of the 13 names I will read represent 545 service members who lost their lives. Johnny Rosario Pichardo, Nicole Lee Gee, Darren T. Hoover, Hunter Lopez, Deegan W. Page, Humberto A. Sanchez, David L. Espinoza, Jared M. Schmidt, Riley J. McCollum, Dylan R. Marola, Kareem M. Nikowa, Maxton W. Soviak, Ryan C. Knox.
My great-grandma tells the story when she was sitting on that bench, waiting for the troops after a few days. Some came on foot, some came on jeep. The jeep stopped by and asked her the direction of to go to the town. My hometown, Fauconnier, also had nickname Fauconnier the Pretty, Fauconnier la Jolie. So the American guy on his jeep looked at my great-grandma and said, "Where is Fauconnier la Jolie?" And she said, "The Pretty is right here. The town is over there."
These veterans were laid to rest at Restlawn Memorial Gardens and Mausoleum. Victor Vic Rose, Edgar Hunter, Barbara Bozer, L. Howard Kittle, Clarence Skiers, Lester Hinshaw, Robert Mormon, Lyndon Irovic, Holland Jesse, Donald Bowman, Edward Schallenberg, William Avanzolini, Lonnie Miller, Adeline Colangelo, Scott Reichert, Ray Wolf, Dwayne Thiessen, John Karsner, Joe Hay, Albert Singh, Alan Tim, Donald Thiem, Ralph Klensky, Lee Cummings, Dale Moore, Henry Murat, Roger Lufkin, Kenneth Ward, Ronald Buren, Florence Krast, Charles Clausen, Thomas Mann, Carl Wood, Brad Marley, Betty Kurtz, Delbert Kurtz, Nikolai Gerhardt, John Kleinpier, Adam J. Bies.
Oregon remembers, recognizes that we are commemorating intensely personal events. In this time of remembering, we make every effort to understand and empathize with the families in a personal and sincere way, because lives are deeply impacted by a hero's sacrifice. And it's so important that we name the names of those who are our heroes.
Commitment of enduring strength. In Flanders Fields, written following the Battle of World War I by John McCrae in 1915. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely sing and fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt down dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. We invite you at this time to respond to a question. Do you, in remembering the beloved who have carried the torch of freedom, in remembering the beloved who have defended the United States of America, and in remembering those who have given their lives in service to our country, do you accept the responsibility of taking up the torch of freedom and carrying it with honor and pride? If so, please signify by responding, I do.
We get about, some days, 1,000 emails or calls in a single day, and 80% of them think we are United States senators. We live in Washington, D.C. We make $244,000 a year, and we have lunch every other week with Joe Biden or whoever happens to be the president. God bless them for contacting us, but when 800 of 1,000 don't know you're a state senator, you have a challenge. And so what we do is we meet 2 months, 1 year, 4 months the next year. We have no executive powers. We pass bills. And once again, sometimes they might bring 200 or 300 bills to the floor in a single day, and you need to do what's right or wrong in less than 35 or 40 seconds. You can tell the opposition doesn't like it. But one of the first things that happens in the legislature, and what's guided me in 20 years, and I'm coming to the end of my term in the legislature, is the first thing is, you used to come in and they give you an orientation. And like you see in the news, they assign a staff member to tell you, what you're supposed to do. And then they have a lobbyist, one of those corporate people, tell you what you're supposed to do. And then they give you stationery. And one of them is this embossed card. It's basically a postcard. It's got your fancy name, the seal embossed on it. You're supposed to write thank yous on it and send it out to people, and birthday cards and all that sort of stuff, or write notes to other people on it. And that first day, 2005, I got this card, and the first thing I did is I wrote down the countries and the number of individuals in my military commands that died in those countries. And I put them on that card. And on the floor of the legislature in both chambers, you have a glass sheet over the top of your desk, and I put that card with a list of the dead underneath that glass piece. So every time I went to the floor, I saw that, so every time I voted, I knew what I was voting for. Memorial Day means everything to a retired soldier. Everything. It impacts everything you do in a day. It's not come once a year. It's not being, God bless you all, part of the 1%. There's 4 million people in Oregon, and less than 40,000 are going to be out here celebrating Memorial Day and thanking these people. Right inside my office, I had 3 pictures above my desk. If you don't know, you have these fancy inner offices with mahogany desks that are made by prisoners in the prison, and you walk in and you can actually look right in to see the desk, and then the wall above your desk is right next to it. I had 3 pictures hanging up there of 3 men that died under my command. So every day I saw them when I walked in that office. Now again, we're a part-time legislature, so only 2 months 1 year and 4 months the other year out there. But once again, the purpose of that is to remind me, do what is right. Not what's popular, not what the corporate lobbyists want, not what somebody else wants, not what the bureaucrats want, but do what is right. Now, I walk through the cemetery out here, and it's always, Memorial Days are always hard, and again, when you've lost so many men and you've had to call so many mothers, it's a little challenging at times.
Again, if you wish to honor someone who has died and who served in the American military, please take a single rose from the table, place it in the basket of remembrance. We remember the sacrifices of our freedom. We will not forget. Oregon remembers this day and always.
Stuck to my heart like glue. So here we go again, pressing rewind. My dream materialized, and there were you. I'm struggling to cosmic intervention. There's something
today, in the eve of the 80th anniversary of D-Day, we must remember. And I just want to say thank you. Merci. En septembre 1944, la 3e division d'infanterie, venue d'Afrique du Nord, traverser la France, est arrivée dans mon petit village, Fauconnier. Les Américains ont débarqué et sont venus libérer mon petit village qui a été sous occupation allemande. September 1944, the troops came to a small town, Fauconnier, east of France. The 3rd Infantry Division came from North Africa, fought and walked through the countries in France, and finally reached my own town that was in the occupation of the German Nazi. In September, that division crossed the bridge and finally liberated my own town. Without those guys, I will probably not be here today. So I just want to say thank you. Merci.
And with that, God bless the poor souls that are out there who sacrificed everything, and God bless all of you for coming here, and God bless those who will stand and fight in the future.